Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to go over the top 10 Dolby Atmos tracks that can be found on Sony 4K Blu Ray discs. On this channel, I mostly focus on 4K reviews, new release information, pre-order announcements, but occasionally I like to throw in a top 10 list. And for this one, I decided to go with the top 10 Dolby Atmos tracks that can be found on Sony 4K Blu Ray discs. If you're at all familiar with the format, you know Sony is probably one of the best when it comes to the mainstream studios. I think they're consistently good with both picture quality and audio. In many cases, they're demo worthy, and I thought it would just be fun to highlight 10 of them from my own personal collection. Before I begin, this top 10 list will not talk about the picture quality. That's a separate video. I probably already covered many of these in those videos, but it's only going to be based off the Dolby Atmos audio experience, specifically from Sony and their 4K discs. And also, this is not going to be about the movie itself. That has no factor into the ranking, and all movie is subjective anyway. So whether you may like a movie or not, it doesn't matter because it's all about the audio quality in this top 10. And of course, this is my personal top 10. Yours will be very different, but I do encourage you to put in the comment section below your top 10 Dolby Atmos tracks from Sony 4K discs. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right into my number 10. For my first pick, when I had the Blu Ray, I was always impressed with the sound design. But when it upgraded to 4K and it brought along a Dolby Atmos with it, I think it elevated it to a whole new level, and I'm talking about District 9. This is an interesting, grounded sci-fi film, and on paper, it definitely has all the elements of a good surround experience, and I think it really comes to life with the Dolby Atmos upgrade. I was very impressed. There's plenty of good height activity, and when things happen on screen, you feel it. It's punchy, it's energetic, it's never wanting for a good immersive experience. I think the action scenes really highlight what this movie can do, and that Dolby Atmos, I think it is fantastic. It really works here, and I like to go back to this one, every so often, and once you go Dolby Atmos on this film, there's no reason to even consider the Blu Ray track. My number 9 pick is going to be well known to fans of the film and 4K fans, and I'm talking about The Fifth Element. This is, in my opinion, what a sci-fi film should sound like at home. That opening sequence alone utilizes the whole surround environment from top to bottom, and that low end is punchy. It's going to kick you in the gut. It is aggressive, and thankfully, the audio carries through the entire film. There's a lot of craziness that happens in the movie, and thankfully, it's well supported from the Dolby Atmos. You're never left wanting. This is a great experience, and one that if you've never even seen the film, just get the 4K disc, crank up the volume, you will absolutely enjoy what you hear. When it comes to military-focused movies, I honestly can and probably will do a top 10 list in that area alone, but for purposes of the Dolby Atmos tracks, you really have to bring your game, because anything less, the fans are going to let you know about it. But I think this one really delivers, and I'm talking about Zero Dark 30. This is, I feel, a more focused Dolby Atmos track, but when it delivers big, because it really makes great use of the space. The sound design is designed to have like the little nuances heard behind you and above you. And when the action kicks in, you're going to absolutely feel it. Explosions hit with authority, and the height activity, it has some great discrete moments. I love it. This is one that you can easily go back to just to enjoy the sound, and the Dolby Atmos certainly delivers on that front and then some. I love it, and one that you should check out for yourself. When I first put in my number 7 pick at home, I was really surprised with what I heard. Not because Sony doesn't put out great stuff, they do, but just remembering it when I heard it at my local theater just made me realize that A, my local theater kind of stinks, and B, that this is a good sound design and the Dolby Atmos really treats it well. I'm talking about Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. I really enjoy this film, and I think just the Atmos experience is wonderful. It's very engaging. There's a lot of surround environment activity. The heights are utilized very well. There's some good stuff happening up there, and you get a good energetic oomph in your seat. The sequel, I feel, is a little step down audio-wise, and I believe it's utilizing a DTSX track, but that's not the reason. It's just a sound design choice. But this one, I think it's so much better. It's a well-rounded experience, and another effort from Sony you should check out for yourself. We're going to dip into the Marvel Cinematic Universe for my number 6 pick, and I'm going to go with Spider-Man No Way Home. With the Sony-produced MCU flicks, you know you're getting not only the best picture quality, but the audio, which is sorely lacking on the Disney-produced discs. But thankfully, Sony does a wonderful job with these films, and the latest entry from the webhead, I think, really delivers on 4K. The audio is fantastic. There are so many great immersive elements. The heights, come on. I mean, Spider-Man swinging through whatever, the whole scene with him engaging with Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension, that has some wonderful height activity. And all throughout the film, there's great moments. It's hard-hitting, it's very immersive and energetic, and one of my favorites. I enjoy the Dolby Atmos track so much, and I think you will as well. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for giant monster flicks, and thankfully Sony's 4K release of Godzilla, this one delivers audio-wise, hands down. It is great. If you've seen the film, you know that it's raining pretty much from start to finish, so you get those good height effects there. But when Godzilla's on screen, that's something else. This one will punch a hole through your living room, no problem. It has some great presence. The creatures on screen, you're gonna feel it in your seats. And just the ambience and atmospheric effects with everything happening on screen really makes great use of the surround environment. It's effective, it's immersive, it's wonderfully engaging. I enjoy it. Yeah, the movie, of course, is very divisive, but if you're gonna be a fan, get the 4K disc. You will not be disappointed. For my number 4, it's one of the newer movies on this list, and I'm talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Longtime fans of the Ghostbusters film know that the audio has always been very good. Even the original films, I think they have a great audio experience on 4K, but with the newest entry, it takes things up to a whole new level, and it gives you the purest Dolby Atmos I've heard in a while. It's really good. The supernatural elements alone make for a great experience. The Dolby Atmos really treats that aspect very nicely, and there's so much happening on screen, especially in the back half of the film. You get a lot going on, just everything works. This is a great experience at home. The Dolby Atmos is effective, it is immersive, and one that is personally one of my favorites of that year. My number 3 pick is another military-focused movie, and this time it's Fury. I love this one because not only is it just an entertaining film, but the Dolby Atmos, it's something special. When you have that whole World War II setting and you have the tank as like kind of a central character, this one really works and it delivers on all fronts. There's a lot going on. Even the quieter moments have some great immersive elements, but when the action kicks in, you're gonna feel it in your seats because it's coming from all around you. Bullets are whizzing by your head, explosions are landing right on top of you, and it's punchy, it's robust. Just the track itself is beautifully done. The sound design on this is excellent. Sony did a wonderful job putting this one on 4K, and the Dolby Atmos certainly delivers. For my number 2, that's gonna go to another monster flick, and this time it's gonna go to a film called Monster Hunter. I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite audio tracks of that particular year, and the 4K is beautiful when it comes to the audio. Picture is also good, but we're not talking about that. The audio on this one is great because those creatures, when they're on screen, they come from all points, like all around you. I mean, there's so much going on. It's immersive. There's never a moment on screen, it seems, that you're not getting something in one speaker or another. I mean, it is wonderfully done. This is a great track. It's punchy, hard-hitting. It is gonna hit you like a truck. And when things are happening on screen, you're getting a full experience. This one certainly delivers on the audio front, so that is why it is my number 2. Before I get to my number 1, just a couple of quick honorable mentions. When it comes to 90s action flicks and you bring it to 4K and upgrade the audio, hopefully it's going to be a worthwhile experience. And I firmly believe that Cliffhanger is one of those films. The Dolby Atmos elevates the movie in a way that the previous audio, was fine, With this one, it really makes good use of that additional height space. And there's some well-rounded action. It's good, it's immersive, and there's an upcoming new version coming out on 4K with Dolby Vision you may want to check out. And I do highly recommend you watch this one. The Dolby Atmos will certainly not disappoint. This next one is a little bit of a cheat, but I didn't say at the beginning of the video I couldn't include an import, but I'll include this one. I'm talking about the UK version of Blade Runner 2049. Here in the States, Warner Brothers handled the distribution, but over there it was Sony, and the Dolby Atmos is pretty much the same on both tracks. I actually listened to the audio over at a friend's house a couple years ago, and it's really an A and B comparison. It's the same track. So yes, it is a full, robust experience. It's one of the best of that year. And if you're over in the UK, definitely check this one out because the Atmos is stellar. And lastly, the Resident Evil collection. I just recently rewatched these films on 4K, and wow, the audio on this is pretty much just what you'd expect. It's crazy, it's just energetic, it's robust. All the films sound great. It's fully immersive, zombies, action, it all works. And sometimes you might even have to turn the volume down a little bit because it is such a good presence overall. Yes, the Resident Evil collection is going to be an honorable mention. And for my number one Dolby Atmos mix from a Sony 4K Blu Ray, that is going to go to Hancock. No matter what you may think of the film, the audio experience can't be argued how good it is, because this one, you are going to feel it in the morning. When action is on screen, it's all encompassing. It's going to fully envelop you. It's wonderfully realized. The heights are effective. There's a lot going on up there. The surrounds, there's so much ambience and activity, and everything up front, it's going to hit you. It's not going to apologize. It's one of those movies that the audio is really the star. I enjoy it. It's one I like to demo to my friends. It is a fantastic experience at home, and that is why it is my number one pick. So those are my top 10 Dolby Atmos 4K Blu-ray discs from Sony. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. What would your top 10 be? And also, if you're interested in any of the titles I listed in this video, I will leave direct Amazon links in the comment section. If you use them, they really help out the channel. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.